Hello guys, I'm a new content creator and have been a Creatures of Sonaria player for a decent amount of time. In this time I've grown quite good at PvP and wanted to share this knowledge to help as many new players as I can. So today I'll be giving you a full guide on how to play Ghartokus. I will be giving information about the best builds for it, the speed range it belongs to with a showcase of each fight, tips and tricks that can help you in many scenarios, and at last a little bit of KOSING with it. Before we continue, you need to know about speed ranges. All creatures are balanced around their sprint speeds with each other. Knowing the speed range of a creature gives us the idea of what generally we need to avoid or kill that is around the same speed as the creature. Now that we know what speed ranges are, let's talk about the builds that you should use with Ghartokus. For powerful Elder build, you should use 2 Void plushies with damage plus bite trait, with all the veneration points being in damage. This build is one of the best combo you can have on Ghartokus because it does the most damage per second out of any other build. However, if you cannot afford a damage bite, Ghartokus, an alternative would be bite plus weight with all veneration and weight. This combo is a lot more cheaper and basically has the same strength against its speed range, but the downsides are that you do lower damage to flyers or ankle biters because you already outweigh them. And if you don't have either of these, you can go 2 Void plushies with damage, plus weight trait with all veneration points being in damage. This build has the most damage per bite, but the other 2 builds have more DPS due to having lower bite cooldown and are better overall for face tanking other creatures. Now that we have talked about the builds, let's see how Ghartokus does against creatures near its speed range. A quick note that these battles do not represent its strength accurately in actual fights. These are face tanks, and only show the results if both the creatures are getting all their bites in accurately without missing. These battles could go very differently if one creature gets 1 or 2 extra bites. Now that we have all the basics out of the way, let's get straight into the face tank battles. The creatures in these battles are all age 100 with no plushies or traits. Now that we have seen how Ghartokus performs around its speed range, Let me tell you a few tips and tricks that would help you with many scenarios while using Ghartokus. Your hitbox can be boosted to wherever you are looking. This allows you to deal with ankle biters, as you can see in the video. Also, never try turning if you are being ankle bit by in Tier 1 or Tier 2. It's best to strafe backwards instead. Since ankle biters have low walk speed, so you would out-strafe them and bite them eventually. And if you are being bit by a Tier 3, Tier 4, or Tier 5, do not try strafing. Just turn around instead because they might out-strafe you. There's two ways to deal with flyers as a Ghartokus. First one being forcing your hitbox to be further by looking in the direction where the flyer comes to you the closest, as shown in the clip. If a flyer outranges you, the second way to deal with a flyer is better, which is just hiding in a closed-off space so they cannot reach you without getting hit, as shown in the clip. You should only use Fortify during face tank or in emergencies, like needing to heal off an ailment and escape a creature, as shown in the clip. Now that we have talked about everything we needed to know, I will showcase Ghartokus in actual combat. I'm going to be using Speed and Stamina Regan build with 1 Springbok and 1 Chick plushie. This build allows me to catch up with Tier 4 and Tier 5 easily with and sometimes without cowering. For speed builds, you can also go Bite and Speed trait with Gentle or Devious Elder. However, Gentle is overall better, because you do not lose your damage and weight while still being decently fast and having more ailment blocks and more max stamina, and more health regen, which makes its survival chances better. Now let's get right into KOSING.
Bruh. Huh? Bruh.
Where are you going?